According to Washington's own definition, Beijing is not a currency manipulator, nor is any trading partner of the United States. But Washington, as you said, does promise to continue monitoring the value of the yuan. So despite claims by President Trump on both the campaign trail and while in office, his own government is saying Beijing does not meet the standard for currency manipulation. And add to that, it was just last month that Chinese Premier Li Keqiang told an audience at the World Economic Forum in Tianjin that China would not devalue its currency as a way to boost imports. The foreign ministry has echoed that pledge.
We
do not intend to stimulate exports through the competitive devaluation of the currency or use the yuan exchange rate as a tool to cope with trade disputes. These allegations are just groundless speculations and irresponsible remarks by some people.
So this comes at a time when Beijing is actually trying to incentivize its people to spend, not to save, and there is keen interest in having a stronger, not a weaker currency, as it's trying to get consumers to buy more products and move into a consumer spending-driven economy as opposed to this export-centered model. This accusation has really been a political tool that Trump has used to underscore his fundamental disagreement with how Beijing does business. And make no mistake here, he is intentionally making this a public battle rather than keeping it behind closed doors. And the goal of labeling a country a currency manipulator is to get it to negotiate reducing the trade gap. Well, Trump is already trying to do that through imposing these tariffs. And he's still harping on the U.S. trade deficit with China, which he pegs at around $500 billion, but of course, it's actually less.
We have rebuilt China, just so you understand. Our country has rebuilt China with their hard work and genius also. But how our country has allowed itself to lose $500 billion a year and much more than that is ridiculous.
So bottom line here, Beijing would be unwise to view this decision as a sign of softening in the relationship. The facts just aren't there to support this particular accusation. And the decision does come, of course, on the same day that the White House pledged to withdraw from a postal treaty with China, which allows Beijing to have lower shipping rates to the United States and undercuts American competition. No signs that the maximum pressure campaign here are getting softer. And we do know that members of both governments are preparing for a meeting between these two leaders on the sidelines of the G20 next month, but we haven't seen any public announcement or public agenda, and there are no signs of either side giving ground just yet. Jessica Stone, CGTN, Washington.